Thank you, Madam Speaker. Rising to ask for a no today because I don't think the outcomes will be what the intended the consequences won't be what the intent of this bill is trying to pursue. We've heard from a number of our local county auditors expressing frustration and opposition to this bill, but I want to highlight a couple points made by our Chief Elections Officer, the Secretary of State. Madam Speaker, may I read from some information he provided us?
Please proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. House Bill 1932's unintended consequences would damage the election process and civic engagement. Moving local elections to share the even-year ballot with statewide, legislative, and federal races would reduce voters' attention to important issues, their cities, counties, and towns. If I may read a little further, Madam Speaker?
Please proceed.
Thank you. Throughout Washington, odd-year elections provide a spotlight for vigorous debate of local decisions that would get lost in the mix of sharing a ballot with larger jurisdictions. Voter fall-off is a potential problem as well. Moving to even-year elections would push city councils, mayorships, and school boards further down the ballot. Madam Speaker, I raise that point because we should be listening to our experts. We talk about that often. And our county auditors, as well as our Secretary of State, have looked into this and they've seen the results. They've provided research and data that shows that while this is a laudable goal to increase turnout in those local races, we often find the exact opposite happens. So while yes, in even-year elections you may have increased voter turnout, you're also likely to see larger fall-off. That means somebody may come and vote for the president, statewide electeds, hopefully some of us, but then they may say, I'm done, this ballot is crowded. And I'd also like to remind you, Madam Speaker, that last year we removed advisory votes from the ballot because it crowded the ballot and, confused voters and decreased participation as well. Madam Speaker, if that logic holds true on voter advisory votes, then it should also prove true here. We need to protect odd-year elections so that the important work of our local governments is highlighted so that people can make an informed decision and not be rushed to fill out a huge ballot that can be potentially confusing for them. Madam Speaker, I'm going to listen to my Secretary of State and vote no.